Okay, in this one, I'm gonna talk about my thoughts about the term UFO and why everyone should why why everyone should say that they're why people shouldn't say, I must say, that they don't believe in UFOs. Because if you think about it, we've been using it wrong this whole time. If you want to be literal, we've been thinking about it wrong, drawing a distinction where there isn't any. What does UFO stand for? Obviously, it stands for unidentified flying object. It's simply a statement of not knowing what something is, rather than really claiming what it is. Now, once I've really, been on the lookout for UFOs, I've realized that you can't identify anything up there very well at all. So it's a flashing light flying around. You can't see anything more than that. It's very difficult. So as a matter of fact, just about anything, you could say just about anything you see flying around distant in the sky is a UFO. Especially if all you see is the lights. You can't say definitively anything about something. So it's a few lights, and that's the way lights on planes traditionally look. Well, okay, that doesn't mean it has to be a plane. And that's really all you can see, So the whole thing about either being a UFO believer or a UFO skeptic, if you are thinking about the literal meaning of the words, it's completely misfounded, so to speak. I mean, everyone should admit, and I thought about it that way too, until I finally realized, when I finally looked up in the sky and tried to make a call about, if there really was something unusual, I totally realized, well, I can't really possibly say with any degree of certainty about anything, but I'm certainly not going to just say, sure, it's all planes, because it is not. Believe you me, watch my other video entitled My Full Account of the UFOs I've Seen for that. There is way too much variation in the lights you see up there, or maybe not. Maybe most times they are just planes and everything, and so what? Yes, they have different lights, slightly varying lights, but I've seen plenty of other things that are much more clear than just that. But you get what I'm saying. There, if you before you think about it, I guess you say, well, yeah, there's things up there, and I don't know, but you never really look up in the sky. It's like you just, it just clicks, eventually. Once you, start looking and trying to classify anything, you realize I can't really classify it, and I mean, who knows what's up there, I'm trying to say. who really knows? Because I have seen some things, and sure, a lot of things look like planes, but who knows if they really are? Um, uh, oh yeah, I have yet another thing to report that I didn't in the other video. 2 years ago, in September 2015, I saw this thing coming over, and oddly enough, it was flying and then it just stopped and then was just hovering. It was going like that and then it stopped just that fast, and it was, and it was hovering over a shopping area, a shopping area, the parking lot of a shopping area, for some reason. And then I only saw it for like 5 seconds, I guess. But, that was the first UFO sighting I had. But after that, I guess I just discounted it and said, well, I guess it could have been a drone rather than a UFO. I guess that's the more likely explanation. And this thing was not a drone, not a normal consumer drone, that is. It couldn't have been. It had like neon lights, dark blue, navy-ish, and red lights maybe that were very neon-like, and which covered a fairly large part of it, and it was much too big to be a normal consumer drone. And this may have been before, there were, the number of drones may have doubled since then. So anyway, but then just recently, just a few days ago, in fact, there was something that looked like a plane, and this is what I'm saying about not really being able to tell if something's a plane or not. So it looked like a plane, kind of, roughly, but it was flying low, and there were no lights on that I could tell. Not bright anyway, just very dim. So already that makes it quite unlikely that it could be a plane. So it's flying in the same path as the other thing I saw, and then it stops at the exact same place, as a matter of fact, only it was higher up. But it again flew over the parking lot and stopped briefly over the exact same parking lot of the same place. And then we went back and, tried to find it, and then it was nowhere to be seen. But that couldn't have been a plane. And the thing is, it looked very much like the other thing I saw, and I could see that the other thing was certainly had the stereotypical UFO look. It was clearly a device, a craft of some kind. It looked like a very, very fancy, futuristic looking drone that most people would not have. But anyway, then this other thing comes over, and it looked like it could well have been the same thing, only without the lights on. And then it does the same thing where it just stops and starts, and it's just hovering there. Yeah, that was a UFO that I saw back then too, I bet. And I bet it could well have been either the exact same one, or probably not, I don't know, or a different one. But the point is, a different one of the same kind. But the point is that there are certainly things flying around in the sky, unless we know absolutely nothing about what's in the sky. Unless when we look in the sky, it's just all a delusion, which I'm not claiming, which is more likely? It's all a delusion, or there are, in fact, different kinds of things that, rather than just planes. I mean, not that that's all there is, but that's the most common. Obviously, we know that there are airplanes and helicopters and different flying things, but there's no way. Try looking at the sky, at least where I am here, and especially, absolutely, in the Dallas area. It was a whole other kind of thing, more clearly strange UFOs, exotic things in the Dallas area rather than here. Here, most things look like planes, I guess, but we can't tell. I've mentioned the things I've seen and given a full account of most of the things I saw in that other video. And, so you have to, everyone, once they think about what I'm saying, should reevaluate, if they're a skeptic, they should realize, well, it does mean unidentified flying object. So it's not necessarily making a claim about what it is. All it is claiming that something is unusual, and that's much more interesting, of course. That's just keeping an open mind, of course, and I think actually most people agree with that, but I don't know. The point is, there are definitely UFOs in the real sense of the word, but it's not a nice idea to think, maybe anything I see in the sky is just, you can't tell anything about it. Maybe, like it might as well all just be a hologram or something. That's what it seems like. I am not claiming that's the case. I'm claiming there are unusual craft up there, of course. But if you can perceive anything truly about the sky, then you have to admit there's something else going on. I've seen it many, many, many times around here in an urban area. I don't see why everyone, just doesn't just go, wait, clearly there are UFOs everywhere, at least in some places. If they're thinking about what UFO really means. So yeah, yeah. So watch my other video, please. The one called my full account of the UFOs that I've seen, because all of that really happened, and yeah, who knows what's going on, really, but I'm inclined to believe, that it really is some extraterrestrial thing, or either that or it's the reverse engineered craft. I guess that makes sense since there are so many of them, and but don't, for a moment now still just believe that it's all just traditional aircraft, because that's blatantly not true. I can certainly tell you based on what I've seen, and I suspect there are a lot of places where you can see where these are. They're in the Lansing, Michigan area, and there's a bunch of clearly odd-looking things that I was seeing in the Dallas area. You wouldn't believe it. but I go into all of that in my other videos. So it's just, you know, the whole skeptic versus believer thing is just, it should be self-evident now that we need to reevaluate that. And I don't know, I wish I did know exactly the nature of what's going on, so it wouldn't all seem like it could just be, you know, that we can't perceive. Anyway, I'm rambling, but, you know, we know nothing about the sky. All we can know about, you know, is things that we can actually, you know, handle and everything. The sky is the ultimate, you know, thing where, you know, it's all around, and there are in fact quite likely strange, different, at least different kind of craft flying around right above us, and right low to the ground even. I've seen it many times, and you can't just believe that they're all planes anymore. So, or helicopters or anything like that. Granted, you know, humans can make strange-looking things, and maybe humans did make them, but I've seen other things. And, okay, anyway. Oh, yeah. Well, what do you think?